Hello, BookTube, and welcome back to our library tour. I'm doing a visual record here of the books in the little book room, not in the rest of Hyde Cottage, just in this little space that I carved out for myself. I'm standing up, and we are doing this next tall bookcase. And it has, some of the shelves here are deep enough for Transwise books, so we'll do those. This one is from the early 20th century, yes, 1902. Yes, this is, it's a library copy, so it doesn't have anything on the front. This is Boston Days by Lillian Whiting. Just an ex-library copy of History of Boston, Anecdotes of Boston. Where's it going to go? Where's it going to go? Let's throw it over there. Then we have Joshua Slocum. This is a cute little Shambhala classics of the sailing alone around the world, one of the greatest adventure stories of all time for Adventure April. This is in a neat little hardcover edition here of the Shambhala classics. This hardcover had a ripped cover, so I had to tape it just a bit. I didn't have any book coverings at the time, and I certainly didn't have any book coverings that would fit this. So I will look for it again in either that format. There's one other format of sailing around the world that I would really like. Because it's an adventure story that you do reread, especially if you have spent time under the power of sail on the water. And there's at least one, I don't know every edition this book has had, but there's at least one other edition that I like even more than that one, so I'll just keep an eye out for it. Then we have a little modern library. This is the John Addison Symonds translation of the autobiography of Benvenuto Cellini. I have a number of different editions of this work, but this had this cute, dorky little cover there. And it was, I'm sure, $1, so I just grabbed it. I love the autobiography of Benvenuto Cellini. I just love it. Okay, those are the Transwise books. And now we can do the books on the shelf itself. Starting with this one. This is the first rejection collection of the New Yorker. Some of you will know that I really love New Yorker cartoons. They are a language of their own, or at least they were once upon a time, and I love and know that language. And this was a collection, somebody had the inspired idea to pull together a whole bunch of cartoons that were rejected from the New Yorker, usually on grounds of being obscene or too racy or suggestive or overly sexual, stuff like that. And it's hilarious, absolutely hilarious. I don't know that there would ever have been a time in the New Yorker's history when its readers would not have found these cartoons hilarious. We like to think of the straight-laced 60s and early 50s and early 60s, but I think New Yorker subscribers would have laughed their heads off at these things at any point. I love this volume. I wish I had the next one. This is the best of the rejection collection, but I think there are 2 volumes. I just wish I had them all. I will find them. They were all the individual volumes will turn up, but this one shouldn't be here anyway. Right? All you type A personalities are saying that all my New Yorker stuff should all be together. Might agree with that. Then we have, this is Arlene Thomas. This is Bird Ambulance. A thin but oversized little hardcover about all the birds that she helped. She and her comrades helped in one various state or another. Injured birds, lost birds, surrendered birds that people thought would make exotic pets but didn't. Just totally, there's an owl, the requisite owl on the back. A totally heartwarming little volume. All right, here's another New Yorker volume. This is short stories from the New Yorker. 1940 to 1950, just 10 years, that's all. A lot of heavy hitters in here, as you can tell. There are a lot of heavy hitters in here, and a lot of names who have faded. One of the things I love about this New Yorker anthology is how many voices in it are new to me, or have been new to me over the years that I've been reading this, that were part of the literary landscape. My critical brethren from 2 centuries or from 2 generations ago would have noticed them and reviewed them, but they're now gone completely. So that to me is just as enjoyable in a book like this as rereading the stories from big established names. Then we have Robin Lane Fox. He's turned up a few times. He'll turn up a few times more. This is the unauthorized version, which is basically an extremely pointed ramble through the New Testament by a classical scholar and a heck of a writer. It's not necessarily meant to be irreverent, and it's not going to be anything new to anybody who knows New Testament scholarship, but it's a lot of fun to read. Then we have Charles Neater. This is The Travels of Mark Twain. This is an anthology of the best bits and pieces from the many travel books that Mark Twain wrote in his life. The one that started off his career, and then the others that kept it going. there was ready money in travel writing and a much wider readership than novels. And he took advantage of it. And his travel writing is great. And I love all the individual works of travel writing on their own. But this guy has a knack for editing Twain. I wish I could find another copy of this. But I believe he also did a collection of Twain stories. That isn't all of them, but I would still like to find it. I will. I'm sure I will. Then we have Justice Douglas. This is William O. Douglas. This is his book, My Wilderness East of Katahdin. He did a couple of volumes of My Wilderness. This has illustrations by Lee Jacks, who we've seen before. And look at that. Look at how lovely that is. Good Lord. And this is, there he is. There's Wild Bill Douglas in his justice robes. This is, in addition to being a lot of other things in life, he was also an avid naturalist. And this is his story of just stories of natural history. Delightful to read. He really was a really, really good writer. I firmly believe that when you go through a lot of his decisions on the court, if you just go through a lot of decisions with a blindfold, you'd be able to spot a lot of his, because he would take the basic research of his clerks, but then he would write it himself, some of them, and it really shows. But then again, I'm a bit of a court wonk, so I could probably pick out the prose style of the clerks or the justices of a whole bunch of decisions, but still, it's a fun exercise. I am not. I should point out the obvious here. I'm not a court wonk anymore. I have no interest in what Donald Trump's employees do. Then we have something that I don't know if this ever came out with a dust jacket. I would love to find another copy of this. This is from 1934. It's by Philip Gibbs, and it is called European Journey. This is an ex-library copy. I must have got this at some yard sale or something or other. It's full of the author's own illustrations as he travels all around Europe in the early 1930s. And it's charming. He's got a really good ear for a good story and a good anecdote. He draws personalities well. By far the gravimetric center of this book, the thing that makes it the most jarringly fascinating thing, is his trip to Germany in 1934. I don't know what to say. I want these library tours to stay fun and light, but I reread those chapters at the beginning of this year. And I don't know what to say. As I've said before, only the proper names are different from 1934 Germany and 2025 America. Only the proper names are different. The slogans are the same. The words of the slogans are the same. The words coming out of the mouth of Stephen Miller are the same. The words are exactly the same. The sentiments are exactly the same. The compromises, the mental and ideological compromises being done by the ordinary decent German people who were hearing all this stuff, those compromises are exactly the same. Word for word. The correspondence is exactly the same. Who the enemy are, make Germany great again, get them out of this country, lock her up, suspend due process if you have to, ignore the courts. What have they ever done for us? It's to my mind, it's utterly impossible to ignore. I would say that no MAGA member could read those chapters and fail to see the similarities, but no MAGA member would read those chapters, so it doesn't matter. But still, the rest of the book is charming too. Then we have something from a couple of years ago. This is Carl Safina, who we've also seen. We've already seen him in this room. Where is his Lazy Point book? Is that near here? Oh well. This is his book, one of many books that I have, in the thriving little subgenre of people who adopt owls. Whether it's Bernd Heinrich, who gets to know an owl but never actually adopts it, never actually lets it sleep in the house, all the way up to William Service, who does let an owl just live in his house, and the owl seems perfectly content to do that. And this is Alfie and Me by Carl Safina, where he does basically the same thing, where during COVID he and his wife adopt an owl and get to know it really well. I'm a sucker for this kind of book. I mean, I love Wild Animal Comes to Live with Human books anyway, but the owl subgenre, I think I have them all, and they're all wonderful. It brings out the best in writers. Okay, then we have the Picador trade paperback of The American People Volume 2, The Brutality of Fact by Larry Kramer. I do not have volume 1 of this book. This is a 2-volume set, and The American People volume 1 and volume 2. And I don't have volume 1. I want the trade paperback of volume 1 of this. I've never seen it. The publisher didn't send it to me, and I've never seen it used. I believe that I am blurbed on it. I know that I'm blurbed on this one. Yeah, there's Dwight Garner and me. This is the greatest, most alarming, most insane AIDS novel anybody is ever going to write or want to write. Larry Kramer himself is fiercely present on virtually every page of the book, reminding readers that he's been yelling at them for half a century. The book is a whiteout blizzard of anger, outrage, showboating, and satire. And I think there are other people blurbed on this as well. Oh no, they kept it short. Me, Kirkus, Dwight Garner, and Jeremy Liebarger from The Nation on the front. This is incredible. It's an amazing book. It's the book that Larry Kramer said that he would always write. The two together make a 1,000-page opus that he said he would always write. And by the time he got really old and wasn't in the best of health and had made so many enemies, burnt so many bridges, I just assumed he wouldn't do it. I've heard so many people say that, and that they're going to write their great book. And it takes a huge amount of work to do. Too many people, too many writers especially, think that finally sitting down and writing your great book that you've had haunting you your whole life is a matter of relaxing into an easy chair. No, it's a matter of gearing things up. It's 10 times the work, not a tenth of the work. I reviewed the first volume, and at the end of my review, I wrote, the prospect of a sequel is almost too terrible to contemplate. And there were precisely 3 people who read that review who understood what I meant by that line. Precisely 3 people. Everyone else who read that line thought that I didn't want to see a sequel. Everyone else did. There were only 3 people who read that line and said, damn straight. so I guess that's better than none. This is amazing and heartbreaking. I will say that I will try to remember to leave a link to my review of it down below, but I haven't been remembering to do that. I really want to find the trade paperback of this. Maybe I should just bite the bullet and get the trade paperback of volume 1. Just buy it from Amazon like a common bridge troll. I'm such a pampered creature that I just don't think to do that. So I don't actually know for a fact that I am blurbed on volume 1. I don't know if that's true, but I would like to have it anyway, right next to this one. Okay, and then we can finish up with these 3. These are from Borealis, and I have 3, but not 4. I do not have 4. These are 3 volumes of the Lankmar books, the Farford and Grey Mouser books by Fritz Leiber. In this set, which I had once upon a time, there are 4 volumes in this set, I think. I had all 4, and then they came out in mass market paperbacks, and I had all 4 of those. Got rid of them all. No idea why. This is obviously the prettiest set of Farford and Grey Mouser that you're ever going to get. With those of you who are know comic books will know, that is cover illustrations and spot illustrations by Mike Mignola, the creator of Hellboy. Perfect choice, just perfect. And those illustrations are all throughout these books. Let's see if we can show you some. Yeah, Mignola does the spot illustrations for all the stories. And I don't even know what the 4th volume would cost. I have no idea what these things cost in the collectible market. I really don't want to be involved in the collectible market. And I'm also not 100% sure if it was 4 volumes. Isn't that terrible? Let's see if this tells me. Does it tell me? No, it does not. Well, I'm not going to look, because if I look, I'll be tempted to buy. So I guess we're seeing lots of acquisitiveness in this library tour. I want that volume 1 of The American People by Larry Kramer. He was threatening for years and years and years to write his great surreal gay ficto history of the United States. And nobody believed him. One by one, the people who did believe him dropped off and stopped believing him. And then he did it and died. The writing of that killed him when I didn't think anything would. and I don't have volume 1. When I reviewed it for, I don't remember who I reviewed it for, but I reviewed it in the national press, which may or may not have been something that once upon a time a much younger Steve with long flowing black hair threatened the author with. One of these days, I'm going to review you, bub. I believe the exchange would have been, who will have you? but I don't have that volume. I don't know if my name is on it either. So, but anyway, I don't have that, and I don't have the other volume of the Borealis Press Fritz Leiber when I should. It is the Fritz Leiber tab. So there you go. Bunch of unfocused yearning in this library tour. So I'll wrap this up for now, and we will return next time. Thank you, BookTube.